Hello everyone. So today we are going to work on this controls option panel to customize controllers. So first we are going to work on the UI part. So as you can see here, we have listed all the actions and all the axis settings with the relevant keys in this site. So we are going to see how to dynamically get the currently assigned key and how to show it in the UI based on the name of the action or the axis value. Right, then after that we are going to work on how to customize this, but I don't think I would be able to cover that part also in this episode. So let's first finish this UI part and then let's see. And this episode is sponsored by these generous patrons. Thank you very much for the support. Okay, so now we have completed in the settings, graphic settings, display settings, audio settings and gameplay settings. So the only remaining thing is controls or keyboard or whatever the settings we have. Okay, so let's start on that today. Let's go to the UI and widget options. So here we need another button. Let's copy and paste. Right, I'll name it BTN controls. Let's change the text to controls. Okay, now we need to let's go to click event of one of the buttons. So here we have this selected option category. We only have graphics, display, audio and gameplay. So we need to change it. Here in options, controls, so now we have control option as well. Right, now select the BTN controls and implement another on clicked event. Let's put it along with these buttons, and let's call the open panel function in the same way. Here let's select controls. Now in here we only have these graphic option, display, audio and gameplay option panels already added. So we need to create another panel for the controls. So where do we have the panels? Here. Right, so the options, this is actually, yeah, let's duplicate which one? Let's duplicate the graphic options panel and name it WDG controls. Right, this is what we have at the moment. Let's delete them all, but before that we need to delete these functions, otherwise we would have a problem. Let's only leave these custom events without any implementation. Reset apply and initialize. Okay, right, now here let's delete this. So wait, why can't I delete? Do I have any functions? Oh yeah, here. Now we should be able to delete. Yes, let's change this title to controls. It should be capital. Okay, now let's add that WDG controls just like these under the canvas panel. And just like this, the anchor should be like this. Okay, now here let's connect the controls button as well to this open panel event. Where else we have references? Let's see. Here. Right, now let's see. When we go to display, we have display, audio, controls. We have the option. We get the panel, but we don't have anything here. Now let's work on that part. Right, so now we need another option line to add the control name and the key. But so far we have only implemented this. Let me open one. These type of options. So yeah, let's duplicate this option line, the one which we used before, and let's name it widget key selector. No, let's just call widget key. Okay, now here we don't really need any of these options. Or this. Variable is in use where. Okay. Or any of these variables. Right, now let's delete these buttons. Wait, we actually need one of the buttons, so let me keep only one of the buttons and delete other. So let's call it this one control name. and this text, let's change it key label or something. So this should represent the key. So for example, here I'll press a dash that symbolizes nothing is assigned for now. Right, now let's make this button, instead of auto, let's make it fill. Right, and let's change, this should clearly be visible, so but still it shouldn't look like a normal button, so let's change the style of this a little bit and make the color of the text white, and it is already bold. Let's say ESC just to see how it would look. Okay, it looks like this, it's fine. Right, alright. Right, now here in the controls we need to add key widgets to here. Why there are two vertical boxes? One should be enough. Okay, alright, we can just drag and drop keys like this, but instead of doing it this way, let's try a different way. Let's create a new variable, control list, and we can get input settings, and from here we can get input get action mapping by name, or we can get action mapping by name, or we can get axis mapping by name. So you know the difference between action and axis is, if you go to project settings and input, actions are this just key press events, and actions are just key press events like jumps, attack, show in entry, interact, stuff like that. And axes are like move forward, move backward, that we take the input continuously, the things that we take the input continuously. Okay, so now here we can use these two functions to get whatever the actions, so axis settings. Right, now let's turn this control list into so this is a text, sorry, name, into a name, and let's make this an array. Okay, now let's initialize this with the axis names and action names we want. Let's start with axis, move forward, move right. Oh, one more thing, I think it would look better if we add some space in between, otherwise it will look as a continuous line in our options. So let me change this to, and that means I have to change that input action in the code as well. So if I compile this, you see we get a warning. Can we refresh this? Yeah. Oh no, refreshing doesn't work. So move forward. Luckily we only have one character, so it's not a problem. Change in. Do we need to change anything else? Lookup rate, this is for gamepad, so it's okay. We don't need to set up gamepads at the moment. Move up. So this move up is for swimming actually. So let's add wait, here we have a move down key as well. Similarly we have move right and move left for D, move forward and move backward for S. Right, let's consider that case when we implement it. So first I'm gonna change this move up within brackets swimming. I'm gonna add that. Right, so here now that we have that issue that I mentioned regarding this move forward, we have two keys for move forward and move backwards, so I don't think we can make this automatically get a list of actions based on a defined name list will work. So yeah, let's delete that. And here let's add one by one. Actually we have that problem only for axis, not for actions. Okay, so let's define a new structure. Like this. Key configs. Okay, the initial value should be control name. Oh, not the key. Let's call it control config. Okay, control name is the initial value, and then let's add another text. Let's call it control label, and another one scale. This will be only required for axis. Right, now here, okay, now let's again add that variable controls in the type of control config. Okay, now let's add our first one, move forward. Oh wait, now we don't really have to use this space as well, because we have to a separate label as well. But anyway, now that I have already done, so I'm not going to change it back. Alright, so with that said, let's proceed. Control label. Well, here I need to be it to be same as the control name that we have here. Move forward, we have a space. Yes. Control label can be the same. Move forward. Scale is 1. Okay, and we need another one. Let me duplicate this. Here scale is -1, and I'm gonna name the label as move backward. So that's where we get this S. Okay, now we need move right. Label also move right. Scale should be 1. Actually I think we should make it by default 1, so we don't have to change it all the time. And duplicate this. Control name move right, control label move left, value is -1. Shall we test only with these values? No, let's, how many of we have? We don't really need to have this, so we need move up, swim in. Okay, let's add the rest too. There are not much. Down. And that's all for axis. Turn and look up these are mouse, and we can't really change those axes because we don't have anything else that we can replace them, so they should be able to change. Okay, and we need this. I don't need this reset VR, or yeah, I don't need that. Let me just remove it. We need jump, show objective, interact, show inventory, and primary attack. Right. Jump. Label is also jump. Value, actually scale doesn't matter because it's a action. The other one is show objective. And the next one is interact. And show inventory. And primary attack. Okay, all line. Now here let's go to pre-construct. Here let's get the controls and run for each loop. Let's collapse this. Key initialize key mapping. So without thinking of the key, for each element let's get the label. Oh, actually we can break this, and let's create widget in the type of key, widget key, and add to no, we need a reference to the vertical box. Let's call it key panel and make it a variable. And add this newly created widget as a child. Then here we can set text. No, here let's create a new function to initialize custom event key. Right here, option name, set text, let's call it label, and we need to set this label value as well. Sorry, key label. Let's call this one control label, and let's get the label, set text, let's call that key label. Right, now in the controls we can initialize this key using the control label. For the key label, let's not connect anything yet, and if I will compile, you see now we have all the input actions and axes listed like this. This is generated based on this controls array, and it looks like there is an empty element in this array after move down swimming. So let's check. Right, sixth element. So let's delete it and compile. Right, so we have all the necessary controls listed now fully automatically. Right, now how do we get the key assigned for this particular action or the axis? So for that, let's get input settings and get action mapping by name. We need those both options. Oh, we already typed it here. get axis mapping by name. Right. Okay, so we can use this control name as the input. Wait. Here let's collapse this to a function, get key, and I'll turn this into a pure function so we don't need to connect an execution wire. Let's name this control name. Right, now here if the length of these actions are 0, that means this given control is not action, it's an axis. So if this is larger than 0, that means this is action. Otherwise we have to use this axis. Okay, now here, anyway, this is input action key mapping, this is axis key mapping. Okay, so if this case is true, then we can run a for each loop. Wait, for each loop with a break. On each element, and we can break this and check the key. So here, if this key is a keyboard key, we can check it like this. If this key is a keyboard key, because at the moment we are only setting this system up for the keyboard values only, no controller setup. Right, if this is true, we are going to promote this key to a local variable. Let's call it input key. Set it and break. We don't need to execute this loop further. Right, so when this is completed, we can add a return, and we already have the input key. We can get the name, display name, and return it. This way. Right, so if this is not a action, that means it is a axis. So we can run another for each loop for axis like this. Here we can do the same thing. We can break this first. Let's get some more space, and is keyboard key. If this is a keyboard key, let's have a branch just like before. And here also, here we need to check if this is check for the scale as well. So if this is true and the scale is equal to whatever the scale we have as input, let's call it scale. If that condition is also true, wait, we can just have an AND condition here. Then we can promote this. Oh, no need to promote, we can set this key input as the input key, and in the completed we didn't actually use for each loop with a break, but that's not a big deal. We can just connect it to the return, so this will not stop even if it find the desired key, but I hope that wouldn't be a problem. Let's add another value, key found. So this should be based on if this is valid or not. Oh no, I don't think we need that. Right, now here we can connect the scale like this. Then we can set the key label this way, and if I compile, now we can see all the keys that we have assigned appear here. Right, now let's play. If I go to controls, you can see each of these keys that we have assigned for axis, settings and actions. So alright, I'm going to stop the episode right here. In the next episode, let's see how to customize these controls. Wait, why is it none for the primary attack? What's wrong? It's left mouse button. Right, then here we have to modify this get key. Is mouse button or keyboard button, both should be alright. So let's add the OR gate here. So before the AND, for an axis it is unlikely to have a mouse button. But let's do the same. Right, now we have that else here. Okay, so let's stop this episode right here. Okay, so thanks for watching. As always, project files will be available for the download through Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And if you like to support my work, you can get the membership of the Patreon club. Thanks for watching. See you in another episode. Goodbye.